Welcome to the party.
Back at it again. Topic Thunder, Johnny and TheGreg. What's up, Greg?
Radicom. I'm playing a video game right now, and one of the well, not right now, but
Right.
there's a character in the game who just has this great speech pattern, and he's kind of creepy, and he's like, "Welcome everyone."
What game are you playing?
Borderlands 3, and it's
Oh,
the
okay.
downloadable content called Love, Guns, and Tentacles.
That's titillating, sir.
Yeah, it's fun. And the guy who owns the lodge.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. May I see you at the counter? No, he's fun. It's the thing about Borderlands is that they infuse a ton of humor into the game, and it's great. So,
Cool.
anyway, so Topic Thunder. Everybody's still quarantined. You know, we're all in our lockdown in our house, staring at the outside. I mean, but one of the things that I wanted to talk about today, and this is going to be our topic. So I live in a subdivision of a very rural community. Like you go a mile in any direction and you're in the country. Um, so, but what we've seen is kind of the weather has gotten nicer, and our subdivision, our community, our neighborhood has come alive again. Um,
How so?
Now, everybody's going outside. I mean, we're all keeping our distance. Everybody, we're not like intermixing or holding parties or backyard barbecues or anything like that. But like families are walking together, and I think it's just like the weather's nice. We need to get out of the house. But when was the last time like a whole family, like a family of four, family of five, they're out on a walk? They got the dog. Let's go for a walk. Your people are passing by. Howdy, neighbor. Hey, how's it going? I mean, that's happening. Um, Usually at this time of year in my neighborhood, the kids are getting off the bus, they're getting home from school. Parents are just flying into the driveway. They're shoveling a bunch of dinner into their mouth, and then they're off to baseball practice, soccer practice, musical practice. They got a job that they like. They got to get the teenager to. They got to do all of this stuff,
Yeah.
but no one is doing that stuff.
Right.
So they're hanging out. My neighbors were playing badminton in their yard. When was the last time you saw like a family of five just be like, "Hey kids, let's get out the badminton net and see how we can do"? I mean,
I
it's
believe it was
just
a 1950s commercial.
yeah. I mean, and that's just happening again. And
Yeah.
so I don't know if you call it a silver lining or what you want to call it, but there is a lot of like reconnection that's happening. Um, Another thing that I noticed in terms of community, usually again around this time of year, Facebook is absolutely flooded with negativity. A lot of political stuff, a lot of
Oh, yeah.
now right now, you're seeing people just supporting each other. What do you need? Hey, here's a group that we're gonna. If you need something, post it on this group, and we'll try to get it out there. Um, you know, seamstresses and people that knit are no longer like hiding in the corners of Facebook, just like, yeah, we got our group over here as they're crocheting. They're everywhere saying, we want to help. What can we do? Nerds with 3D printers are like, hey, we're going to help. We can 3D print all this stuff. What do you need? And it's just like, this is the coming together piece.
Yeah, I think that's a real positive thing that's happened out of this. And I think you're right. I think it's almost a time for everybody, if you're not sick, to exhale and kind of take in the idea of, okay, what's really important? Because when the shit shut down, all
Yeah.
that was standing there was family, and you have to be creative. I've been seeing all these things on Facebook. It's kind of cool. There are these dads that are making forts. When's the last time you made a fort with your
Oh,
kids, man?
God. It's been a long time.
Right. Well, I'm at the age where she's just discovering it, so I'm
Yeah.
building forts all the time, and she thinks they're super cool. But you know, is that on us? Is that on us to where we bought into
Yeah.
keeping up with the Joneses and we have to get the kids a soccer class and we have to get the kids to
it's that old, like the keeping up with the Joneses in terms of like, well, if my kid's not on this baseball team, he's not going to be able to make it in the world.
Right.
Well, we got to be in the traveling team, not just the home team. We got to be in the super competitive team, not just this. And so taking that focus off of the kids and off of the parents to drive their kids has allowed us to kind of, hey, who wants to play a board game?
Yeah.
Wait,
right.
We could do that on a Friday night? Yeah, we can do that. Or we can do that on a Wednesday night. Don't we have to be somewhere? No, we can't go anywhere. Let's sit down and do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's if anybody out there isn't taking advantage of this and making it, and what I mean by taking advantage of it, if you're not taking the opportunity that's presented to you to get to know whoever you're stuck with, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of fathers and a lot of parents out there who have been so busy because they just have to put food on the table that now they have to sit down and have a conversation, and so, yeah, I think it's a good thing. I'm happy that your community is doing that. I see a lot of people in my community every day walking. Yeah, there. I don't get the sense there's a community going on here, but I do get the sense that people are slowing down and they're exhaling. And for the first time, you can see people are kind of relaxed.
So is your neighborhood like, I mean, because I've seen your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Do you guys gather?
Talk?
Do you know the person that's like kitty corner from your corner? Like, do you interact with people?
I tend to, well, Greg, you know me. I will talk to anybody. So, I fully, so yes, I know my neighbors that surround me. I know my neighbors' neighbors that surround them. I mean, it's not a situation where I am, knocking on their door and we're having a beer in the garage or anything like that.
Sure.
But I do know them. I do see if they need help. I know usually during the winter, like since I have a snowblower, I'll blow their driveway before they get home, something like that. But for the most part, yeah. But it's not like Pleasantville,
right?
But it's I definitely feel it. Now, I'll be honest, I'm outside. I'm going to grocery stores every day, and that's kind of like where you're meeting. There's these people that are kind of panicky, and there's these people that are almost oblivious. They almost like, this isn't real. This doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Right?
I have some of them in my own family.
Oh, in your family.
Yeah. Not in my immediate family. We're all taking it seriously, but I've got well, I'm not going to name names, I guess. Not that they listen. But yeah, they're just like going around. They're like, yeah, no, we're doing exactly what we would do otherwise. And we're like, what? Yeah. Why are you doing that?
Yeah. This is a weird thing. This is a strange thing. And
what I have noticed, and Chris and I did a little bit of shopping Friday, I think. It was Friday. We went out. We had to like go to Menards, which was excuse me. Which was very empty. So I mean the spacing was very possible. But I saw one guy, and he was an employee, and he had gloves on. He had not like, he had regular gloves on. And there's, when you have gloves on, there's a certain way you're supposed to function. And most people don't know what that is. So this guy, he's like rubbing his nose and itching his face and doing all that. And he's like, rubs his eyes and rubs his nose and then touches a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, dude, what are you protecting right now?
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of people that
do anything.
Well, not only that, I don't think people realize how often they touch their face. I'm sure he did all of that and had zero idea he did it. Like, he didn't even know he did it. Until
I got facial hair. Like, and that means like until I grew out a beard, which was about 3 years ago, I had no clue how much I touched my. And then I mean, I'll be sitting at my desk at work and just like,
yeah,
just doing that. And I'm like, oh, I do that all the time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
It's really hard. There's a great YouTube video out there where a guy sprayed, I think he sprayed like some blue luminescent that shows up under a black light, and the teacher had it on her hand. She was shaking each student that came in.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
And then like throughout the day, you saw where those hand parts went. I think there's also a class, like if you're opening up a restaurant, they actually take you to some sort of class where they're showing you, what's the word I'm looking for? Sanitary. It's like a sanitary class. And I think the instructor has stuff on his hands. And then during some sort of, when they're all in a group sitting down, he shuts off the light and you can see everybody's hands. Yeah, that touched it. So
when I used to be a teacher and I would be in biology classes, one of the big days was you gave each kid a petri dish, and they would have like cotton swabs, and they would go swab like some part of the school.
I think I remember this.
And they'd put it on the clear gel, and then you would grow you would grow bacteria and whatnot based off of rubbed on it.
What? Yeah.
And so like all the kids were like, oh, I'm gonna go do the urinal, I'm gonna go do, the handle on the bathroom and all this stuff. And there's bacteria there. The worst ones I ever saw, one was like the bubbler
or a doorknob,
and the one was the front door.
Yeah,
the front door to the school, or the doorknob to the main office.
Right.
Because those never get cleaned. I mean, the janitors. I mean, I bet they are now. I bet the janitor's like, oh no, I got to clean that. But stuff like that. One kid did the basketballs that were pulled out every noon hour for people to, play basketball. And those were terrible.
Yeah. What about you made me forget about it. Damn it. All right. Whatever. I forgot.
Okay. But I mean, uncommon cross contamination. And the thing about the gloves is that if you don't use gloves on a regular basis, and this
you don't know how to take them off either.
Well, you don't know how to take them off, and you don't know what to do when you have them on. And like that guy, that person who's a stock boy, more or less, he's not protecting himself either, because he's touching all this stuff and then touching his face, his eyes, his nose.
Right.
So it's not like he's protected at all. He just has gloves on.
Yeah, he's probably going home, and if he gets sick, he's going to be like, man, I did everything I could.
Everything right. I don't know what I did wrong.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So everybody, stop touching your face, period. You don't need to touch it anyway.
Yep.
So, all right, man. We good with that?
I believe so. Do we have a random fact of the day?
We do, sir. The random fact is, drum roll, please.
Oh, you want me to just...
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
All right. And here we go. Divers in the Dead Sea have to carry 90 pounds of weight to lower their buoyancy so that they can descend. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, you can float real easily in the Dead Sea.
You can float super easy in the Dead Sea.
Very salty.
You know why it's called the Dead Sea?
Because it's so salty, nothing can live there.
Correct. All right. So...
what is the Dead Sea, Alex?
That ends the today's episode for Johnny and the Greg. This is Topic Thunder. See you guys later.
I'll show you.